what a body paragraph is, what it should look like, and what it should contain. So, a body paragraph is something that develops, it's a paragraph that develops one of the major arguments or claims that you made in your thesis. And it has to have these three things. A claim statement, which is the first sentence, which tells me what argument you're going to be making in that paragraph. Relevant data, this should be abundant, like we're past the point where a double data paragraph is what you're being asked for, and it should be specific. Think proper nouns in a lot of cases. Last, it should contain a warrant. This is where you use your data as in ways that are relevant to the claim or support the idea that the data proves the claim. So let's take a sample prompt. Analyze the extent to which the Civil War permanently changed race and sectional relations. So race relations are like black-white, sectional is like north-south. Thesis statement. The Civil War permanently changed sectional relations by ending a debate about secession that began in the 18th century. That's my first claim, relevant to sectional relationships. However, it had less of an effect on race relations as black representation remained limited. So a lot of times AP prompts will ask you not just to identify an effect, but analyze the extent to which it is important. Claim statement. Here's an example of a poor claim statement. One political result of the Civil War was the passage of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. This is purely factual, it's not argumentative, it doesn't even really answer the question, it doesn't tell me what changes there are to race relations. Claim statement 2. The Civil War also changed race relations. How? What specific arguments are you going to make about race relations? This is too vague. Example number 3, here's a strong claim statement. The Civil War expanded the constitutional rights of blacks, but ultimately this expansion was limited by legal limitations and terrorism. The wording's bad, I just threw it together, but you get the idea that it makes an argument that incorporates extent. So this makes a clear argument that includes multiple pieces of data about what actions were taken, the extension of voting rights, and what the result or consequence was, representation. Data. Data is specific, relevant information, think a proper noun, and it should be plentiful. The double data paragraph isn't going to work. So here's an example of a chunk of data that I might use in a paragraph. Following the Civil War, Reconstruction and changes to the Constitution resulted in greater influence for blacks in the South. That's more like a warrant, actually. But here we have what is just straight up data. The 13th Amendment simply declared slavery to be illegal. However, the 14th and 15th Amendments declared that all citizens had the right to vote and that states, especially the southern states, could not limit that right. Furthermore, the requirements for Reconstruction, at least initially, left many white Southerners ineligible to vote as they had fought on the side of the Confederacy. These are straight up facts, they're proper nouns, it's super useful, it tells me what changes there are in race relations. Now, and I'm going to analyze that a little bit in order to answer the prompt. So the yellow is my analysis. As a result of these measures, blacks gained the right to vote, and actually a number of black congressmen and senators were elected to the southern states. This appeared to threaten the white dominance that characterized southern institutions. However, the ultimate extent of these changes was limited. So this is all warrant or analysis. Now we introduce an additional piece of data. Southern states introduced policies such as black codes that were used to limit who was allowed to vote, and the rise of groups such as the KKK discouraged black political participation. That's additional data, and then we have warrant for that. In the end, although some political changes arose out of the Civil War, the extent of those changes was limited by a lack of will in the North to enforce true equality and rights for the citizens of the South. Then we end with another piece of warrant, which we don't even really develop, or another piece of data, which we don't even really develop, but that's fine. It kind of brings things to a close. In 1877, the North officially abandoned Reconstruction as a part of the corrupt bargain that brought Rutherford B. Hayes to the presidency. All I want to point out is that you want to use quite a bit of data, how specific it is, like it's these proper nouns, and then you can kind of like mix and match a little bit how you use it. You can cram together big pieces of data and then analyze them, as I've done here. in these slides right here. And you can also introduce new pieces of data and then analyze those individually. As always, if you have questions, go ahead and send me an email. Thank you for watching.